welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor Ellis, and this is a secondhand librarian where I talk about bookish things somewhat whenever I can. Today's video, I wanted to talk about, it's definitely more aligned with like bookstore ownership, entrepreneurship, but also the intersection of owning your own business and dealing with mental health. So I felt like today would be like another chatty video about like the behind the scenes of like bookstore ownership and all that it entails. I also find that when I was kind of in like the thick of things, I want to say maybe around like the holidays when I was just getting like bombarded with orders, I did a lot of like research on like small business owners and like with anxiety, like how they handle it. For people who are like Myers-Briggs or Enneagram, I'm a sign 4 and an INFP. So pretty much I'm very introverted. I just think the best of everyone. I want everyone to win. But I'm also like, I feel like maybe not the best. I literally joke to everyone I'm the worst business owner there is because I just don't have any concept of like being that like balls to the wall, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. This is literally just me rambling, but essentially I want to do a video about how to run a bookstore while also dealing with mental health things. So, a little background. Summertime is here and it is the busiest season, I want to say, besides holidays, but the busiest season for me because there's kind of a market for like pop-ups. So I've been doing this flea, it's called the Lucky Flea in Rochester, and I signed up for 3 weekends in a row because once again, this is my first year of really having TSL, and I feel like I just don't really know like my limits or how much I can handle or what it even entails, like having a pop-up at a flea market. It's a lot. It is absolutely a lot. So I want to say in the past few weeks, I pretty much, I'm so sorry, I'm getting so many text messages, which is just another stressor. Sometimes I just like want to throw my phone out of the window. So the past 3 weeks I've done a pop-up flea every Sunday, which means that I'm taking all of my inventory from my studio space at 7 in the morning, going over to where we're hosting the flea market, setting up, kind of creating like a virtual pop-up, like a storefront essentially, and then I'm there for like about 4 or 5 hours. So I do that every Sunday. This past Wednesday I did a books and booze event that I hosted with Jess, who I work with in the Luna Co-op. And it was pretty much an adult scholastic book fair, which was super fun, except I didn't really get to enjoy it because I was super stressed out about everything. But like, that's what comes with hosting an event, you know? I'm no longer someone who can just walk around and like browse, like I'm putting it all together. So I have another flea event this Sunday, and then on Monday I'm hosting a writing retreat in the Catskills. So it is a lot, and I feel like as a small business, as a bookstore, I'm going up against not only like obviously the evil elephant in the room, Amazon, but I'm going up against like thrift books, and I'm going up against independent bookstores that have storefronts. I'm going up against other small bookstores in my area, and I'm gonna come back to this in a very hot take of a segment of this video, but I feel like I need to constantly be doing things to keep relevant, especially in society today where like things are quick. You know, you get 2-day shipping, whereas my shipping's maybe a week and a half, and I know that's so much, but like it's only me. So there's just like a lot of pressure, I feel like, to perform, to be kind of like running along with everyone else. And I know like as a woman-owned, one-person sort of business, like I'm never going to be able to truly go toe-to-toe with like Politics and Prose, which is one of my favorite bookstores in DC. But I do want to stay relevant. I do want to stay interesting. I want things to be fun for people. So I think that there's a little bit of a sacrifice that has to be made on my end, where I can't just like enjoy these events because I'm putting them on so other people can enjoy them. So yeah, pretty much when it comes to owning a business and being very introverted, having a very anxious personality. So I have generalized anxiety. I've suffered from depression in the past, and I have OCD, which is just a cocktail of fun. And so I think that I am routinely running on just like like emotionally and physically, because owning a business is a lot of work. And I never underestimated it. Even before starting my bookstore, I never thought it was just going to be easy, but I just didn't think I understood the demand that comes with success. Like constantly getting emails, constantly getting opportunities, constantly putting myself out there for events and things like that. Just talking to people when I'm at these events, it is like draining for me sometimes. So I've been trying to find that balance. This past week was rough for me. Like yesterday, after the Books and Booze event, I went right to sleep. No, I lied. I went out with friends and then I went to sleep because I'm still trying to juggle like bookstore ownership and having like my friends and my husband like in my life. So yesterday I tried to get up to like just go running, and my body physically would not allow me to. Like I just had to lay in bed, and I felt like I was wasting an entire day because I was in the bed all day long, and it was just, but I feel like that was my body's way of like forcing me, like saying, I'm going to make you sick so that you have no other option but to just take a break. So, tips. If you are an anxious person, if you get overwhelmed very easily, allow yourself to say no. Now, I am just bullshitting at this point because I rarely say no. I rarely say no to offers, to be vendors at events, to do interviews, to join advisory boards. I'm literally on like NPR's subsidiary, WXXI for Rochester. I'm on like their advisory board. I have an event with one of my favorite like public libraries coming up in August. I am joining like another holiday bazaar. Like there's just a lot, and there needs to be a balance between getting yourself out there, hustling, and running your business. I'm not a hustler. I've never been a hustler. I've literally told my parents I don't like working. And they think that that's like crazy for me to say and vocalize, but it's true. I don't like working. And I think that there are some days where secondhand doesn't feel like, one of those things where I wake up and I'm like, life is so wonderful. It's definitely days that I wake up and I'm like, this is work and I don't want to do it. So I think that giving yourself time, I don't, clock in and out. So I feel like I'm 24/7 doing things, answering emails. When I put on this retreat coming up, I don't think I slept literally like in 2 days because I was just trying to make sure everything was perfect and getting everything together. Just because when I put an idea out there, if people give me positive feedback, I'm like, okay, I need to make this happen immediately. And that's probably one of my hangups personally, but yeah, you need to say no. You need to protect your energy. You need to protect your mental health. If you're feeling like you're getting overwhelmed, if you're like me, I'm a crier, and every day I'm like, this past week, I'm like, I'm on the verge of tears. Like, that's not good. Take a break. It's okay. You can't compete with people that have all of the manpower, all of the inventory, all of like the social media outreach. Like, you can't do it all. So you need to make peace with that's just not where you are in your journey, and it's okay. So that is like my biggest tips for people who are really looking to get into this, because I get a lot of people asking me like, like advice and things like that. just know it is hard work. It is hard work. I get people all the time that say, it's very condescending, but they're like, oh, you just sell used books online. Like, I could do that. And I'm like, have fun. Like, here's my login information. Run my business for a week, because it's truly a lot of work that goes into it. And it's so much more than reading books. I want to say, like, I don't even get to read. I'm so far behind on my Goodreads challenge for 2021, and it's depressing. Like, the last time I read 4 books in one day, because I was literally trying to catch up on the fact that I hadn't been reading anything. And it makes me sad. That's what I want to do. So, yes, sorry, my husband just texted me saying, I refuse to go to a club tonight. Our friends want to go clubbing. There's no way. I don't even know. So my next point, I'm going to try to like make this more brief and not just rambling about how sad my life is right now. But I do want to say, when it comes to doing something like this, I have definitely had a lot of competition. Old competition and new competition that has sprung up. And kind of going back to what I said earlier, I'm not a hustler. I'm not someone who's like, all right, let's stack this bread. Like, I've never been that person. And so it's really tough for me to get out of like the mental space where I'm like, everyone's just great. Everyone's here to help me. Everyone has the best intentions. No, that's not reality. It's unfortunate. And I feel like I have a very idealistic point of view. I mean, with my retreat coming up, I literally just took the cost of the event space. I think it was like $2,000, and then just split it evenly between everyone. So my friend Jess, who's like a mentor, she's like, are you making any money off of this? I'm like, no, I just split it. So I want everyone to be able to come, because when I was looking into writing retreats, they were so out of my price range, and I didn't want people to feel like they had to spend $600 to come to the Catskills with me. Like, I'm not doing anything interesting there. But she's like, Taylor, like, you spent all of this time researching the perfect plates. You included meals in that. So now you have to spend your own money to get all of these meals. You're preparing 3 meals a day for all of these people. Like, what are you doing? And so I think that my competitors aren't in that frame of mind where they have like accessibility at the forefront. It's more profit first. And for me, that's hard. It's hard to get myself out of that mindset where I'm just like, I want everyone to have access to all of these things. Because there definitely needs to be a balance. I think the key word in all of this is balance. Knowing that you are allowed to charge for your time, for your energy, for your input. And that's still something I struggle with, but it's completely valid. I don't think that I view, I hand wrap every single book. I write a note to almost every single person. I even deliver things personally when people like can't pick up their stuff. Like, I do a lot just because I genuinely love owning a bookstore, and I genuinely love the people that support me. So I'm willing to do anything it takes, but I think I neglect myself in the process. So there has to be a balance, guys. If you're going to do this, know that it's hard work. Know yourself, know your personality type, so that you can adjust how you operate your business to how you are as a person. So, I'm realizing next summer, I will not be doing back-to-back shows. I will not be throwing events every other week. It's just not feasible for me. So I think that it's a learning curve, but I just want to give you guys all of my input so that if you are interested in this, you have some things to think about. Sorry, I just spilled my coffee all over the floor. So yes, that's all I had to say for today. My next video is going to be actual bookish stuff. I'm going to go over my June wrap up. I've been reading some good shit. I just finished the Heartstopper series, which I'm obsessed with Charlie and Nick, and Charlie is literally my type in men. He is my husband, essentially, so love that. And I'm also reading, I have them all right here. I love Jennifer Armentrout, so I'm reading the Lux series. It's been good. It's been really good, although it's book 3 and they still haven't had sex, so I'm just kind of like, what's the hold up, you know? But yeah, so I will do a June wrap-up bookish thing next video, but I just want to chat with you guys today. And if you have any other questions, leave them in the comment section. Otherwise, have a great weekend. Bye.